Hey, hi, hello. I am Stephanie with Board Game Geek here with Patrick Havert at Origins 2017, and he is going to talk about Rush and Bash by Quick, Simple, Fun Games.
What we have here is a racing game, and Rush and Bash is really apropos because you're going to drive around shooting missiles, dropping bombs. Every time you move onto a new tile, you roll a die, and that tells you where rocks are going to show up.
Okay.
So you might actually end up driving right into a rock as you enter a new tile. Everybody has a chance with their board.
Okay, these are one of the characters. This is Barbossa. Is that who that is?
Yeah, Barbarossa. And you start here, you can take 1 point of damage, and then you die.
Oh, no.
Now, if you die, you go back behind the red line that you last crossed.
Okay, it's like a checkpoint.
In the lane that you were in, and you also get a star. And as you get more stars, they get better and better abilities. You can choose to use this in addition to the card you play on your turn.
So you want to die?
In a way, yes. In a way, no. It depends on where you are at the board.
Sure.
Now,
And these are the rocks that we're putting out too, whenever you roll the die.
And these are the bombs that you'd put out.
Okay.
Now, we have 2 decks of cards, the green and blue deck and the red and purple deck.
Okay.
The green and blue deck, the numbers at the bottom range from 1 to 3, and there are 5 basic actions that you can take on the top.
Okay.
Change lanes.
Show some of those.
Shoot a missile.
So here's this. Is this change lanes?
Yes.
This will shoot a missile. You might think by a game called Rush and Bash that it's just about bumper cars, but no, there's actual weaponry here.
This one actually will let you repair your car.
Repair, that's good.
And then you can also get a star off some of the cars.
Star. Now, does that provide it like invincibility, like in a popular
it'll let
game
you
with
move
some
up
Italian
here.
plumbers? Oh, okay.
No, a popular game with the Italian plumbers is very similar, but when you basically move up in the stars, when you get to number 3, it's usually something that lets you blow up everybody in front of you or drive super fast. So most people try to save their actions to get to that point, but anytime you decide to use the stars, it just resets to 0.
Oh, so once you use it, it goes down. Okay. So can we read this top ability? This, I'm assuming, is going to be really, really, really good.
Each opponent ahead of you on the track, regardless of the lane, takes 2 damage, which will kill them automatically. Move forward 2 spaces without changing lanes.
Oh, okay.
So you move forward a little bit, but basically everyone in front of you gets blown up.
We'll go all the way back to their previous checkpoint. Now they'll get a star, so they'll at least have this ability, depending on where they are, right?
Right.
So that's cool.
So that's why all of these are kind of relative in terms of whether you want to blow up somebody or get yourself killed.
Yeah.
Because every time you drive into a rock, you get hit by a missile or a bomb blows up near you, you take a point of damage. So you can actually steer into that stuff. Like if you just barely crossed a red line.
Well, yeah, and this is like without changing lanes, so it wouldn't let you steer around stuff,
And that will let you move up on the star track, so you can hopefully take the extra special power. Now, one of the catch-up mechanics besides the stars is that the first half of the pack gets the green cards, which are slower because they range from 1 to 3.
Oh, I was going to ask what the purple and red cards were for.
The second half of the pack range from 3 to 5.
Oh, and that has a missile on it.
Right, they have the same 5 actions on them, but basically you just go a little bit faster.
Gotcha.
So on your turn, you'll play 1 card. You have to do the speed movement. Whether you do the option at the top is up to you. And as you're racing around the board, you'll crash into each other. When you crash into somebody, you take no damage, but you damage the other guy and push them forward, so you can actually make them go into a bomb or a rock, or even somebody else, and cause a giant chain reaction. This game does play up to 6 with the base set, and we have an expansion that takes it up to 8.
Oh, wow.
So when you're playing with a lot of people, you end up dying a little bit more than you would with less people.
That's probably pretty crazy. So whenever I saw the die, and it's a track, I thought it was going to be a roll to move thing, but it's not. You use the cards, and this is just to decide if a rock comes up. Now we have these other characters that you can play. I'm assuming there's more characters in the expansion that'll take it up to 8 people.
Right, there's actually 2 more in the box here, but I set it up for 4 players.
This is Dragon Breath Finn, so this is like the RPG little fantasy player. Look at all those dragons. So they've got some bombs. Nomi Spark. There we have.
He's the gnome driving this little robot.
He's in this big mech here. Lady Goodlight. I like it. So, oh wow, she gets to move forward 8 spaces. She passes through everything. Yeah, that's cool. This one gets to place a bunch of bombs. I guess that's why these dragons have bombs. This one also gets to move forward 8 spaces, but bombs will explode as it passes through them.
And they'll also
And it
damage
clears
other
out,
cars.
yeah. And it clears out the boulders and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
So everybody's powers on the 1 and the 3 stars are slightly different,
Yep.
but similar. The number 2 is always the same.
Play one additional card.
Now you only draw 1 card back when you play an additional card, so usually you don't want to do that till the end of the race.
Oh, okay.
And a race is 1 lap around the track. Now, there are 12 different boards that come with the game.
I was going to ask about that.
They're all double-sided.
The modulars. Oh, well, that one has like lightning bolts on it and stuff.
Right, and there's ones that have like a volcano.
Okay.
There's some that have a bridge that goes across it, and if you get knocked off or damaged on the bridge, you fall off into the river.
Okay.
So it's a big shortcut, but
I was
you
going
take
to
a
say,
big
but the bridge
chance.
is probably like quicker or something. Yeah.
You know, and I can usually explain it, and we can play a game in 30 to 45 minutes.
Does this actually go here?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Now, this is,
Oh, yeah.
in
Let's
case
ask
you
about
can't tell who's in front, every board has a pair of binoculars on it. If you put one side in the middle, you just see who's farther forward from the binoculars.
Okay.
And that's who the judge says is in first place, which will be relative to what cards you're going to get.
Who gets to be the judge?
Well,
It's always
basically,
me, probably.
I'll give you that.
And if I'm not playing the game, then I don't know.
So everybody will play one card in turn order,
Yep.
and then you'll redo the turn order, and people will get their
You'll
cards.
switch these around. So so this is a little cardboard piece that you can put these standees on. These cute little helmets with flames on them. So that's cool. Awesome. Is this available right now?
It is, and the expansion's available as well. It's been selling really well, so if you want a copy, I would suggest you get it quick because it's probably going to take us a few months to reorder it.
Yeah. What's the name of the expansion for it called?
It's called Winter Is Now. It adds 2 players
Winter
and
is now. Not coming. It's here.
it also adds a bunch of ice and other winter obstacles.
Ah.
So you can do things like if you miss a roll here, slide across 2 lanes.
Yeah.
Whereas normally you can't change lanes unless you have a lane change card.
Right. Cool. Awesome. Well, that is Rush and Dash by Quick Simple Fun Games.
Russian bash.
Rush and Bash. Sorry.
Because you're always bashing people.
Bashing. Yes. Always be bashing.